BTS has taken over the world. Their little label Big Hit Entertainment spawned the new super company HYBE that is dominating the Korean music market as well as branching out into the Western industry, into games, websites, and literally anything that they can capitalize on. And there is one man who's standing behind the unbelievable success of that entire super label, Bang Si-hyuk, also known as Hitman Bang, also known as Bang PD. And today's episode is all about him. Bang Si-hyuk was born on August 9th in 1972. In his 51 years of living, he achieved some truly remarkable things. But let's begin at the start, with his childhood and upbringing. He was raised in an elite and academic household. His mother graduated from one of Korea's best universities with a degree in literature, which was rare for a woman of her generation. Bang developed a love for reading early on as well. His father once said he enjoyed reading books that were well beyond what a child his age would normally be reading. His father himself used to be president of the Korea Workers' Compensation and Welfare Corporation at the Korea Social Insurance Research Institute. And his cousin is interestingly the founder of Netmarble, Korea's largest mobile game company. Founding big companies seems to run in the family. Bang grew up in a musical home, nevertheless his parents discouraged him to pursue a career in music. But his love for it showed early. When he was in middle school, he and his friends formed a band for which he wrote and composed songs. After high school, he graduated from Seoul National University, one of the top 3 universities in the country, with a degree in aesthetics. And then he started his career in the music scene. Before he founded Big Hit Entertainment in 2005, he was already very active in the Korean idol industry, with his first production credits going back to the 90s, and he was successful at what he was doing. His nickname Hitman actually came about in the early 2000s when he predominantly wrote for artists under JYP Entertainment, like the boy group God, who were extremely popular at that time. Besides them, he also produced and composed for other artists such as Im Jung-dong, Rain, Wonder Girls, 2AM, Teen Pop, Baekjeong, and Park Ji-yoon, who ARMYs might know from her collaboration on RM's solo album Indigo. Throughout his career, he has had a close friendship with his colleague Park Jin-young, better known as JYP, the founder of JYP Entertainment. A music critic even said that Bang and JYP both shaped JYP Entertainment musically. The company was a collaboration, he said. They have worked on music together since the 90s and still appear to share a friendship and good working relationship. Their respective companies also collaborated as JYP and Big Hit Entertainment co-managed the group 2AM. Bang has won multiple awards for his production and lyricism and is still active today. He only writes for groups of his own company now and has production credits on the discographies of almost every group under a HYBE sublabel, namely BTS, TXT, G-Friend, who aren't active anymore, and Hypen, 17, and LE SSERAFIM. But let's go back in history because his company hasn't always been home to that many groups. Bang founded Big Hit Entertainment in 2005. It is widely known that the company was not doing great before the foundation of BTS. Besides the co-management of 2AM, the only groups under the label were the vocal trio 8, who were signed in 2007, and the group Glam in collaboration with Source Music, who disbanded very quickly due to controversies. From 2012 to 2015, the company signed solo artist Im Jong-gi and also the duo Hom, consisting of members of 8 and 2AM, who disbanded in 2018. But of course, the most notable artist under Big Hit has always been BTS, who debuted in 2013. With them, Big Hit Entertainment grew in popularity and impact and eventually became one of the 4 biggest K-pop companies. But it still took 6 years until the next band debuted, which was of course Tomorrow by Together or TXT in 2019. Big Hit Entertainment also acquired Pledis Entertainment, Source Music, and KOZ Entertainment and their respective groups around that time. But until this day, TXT and BTS are the only groups directly under Big Hit Entertainment, which is now called Big Hit Music because the company underwent major restructuring in 2021. Now Big Hit Music is another sublabel under the umbrella of the mother company, HYBE Corporation. Right now there are the following labels under HYBE. Big Hit Music of course with BTS and TXT, Belift Lab with Hypen, Source Music with LE SSERAFIM, Pledis Entertainment with 17 and a number of other artists, KOZ Entertainment with Zico and the recently debuted boy band Boy Next Door, HYBE Labels Japan with N-Team, Adore with New Jeans, and the management agency Neko. But HYBE is not only a pure music-based company. On the website it says, quote, "We provide business solutions to our labels and drive business initiatives based on our music, including performances, multimedia content, IP, education, and games," unquote. There is HYBE 360, all about distribution, promotion, and advertisement of artists' albums. HYBE IPX develops contents and products in collaboration with other brands. HYBE IM develops games. HYBE Media Studio produces documentaries and similar contents. HYBE also dabbles in artificial intelligence with Supertone, an AI audio technology company. And there is of course Weverse Company, a platform for artists and fans to communicate on, and the successor of VLive as the livestream platform of the K-pop world. And then there is HYBE America, but I will talk more about that and the current endeavors into the Western industry later in the episode. Because that was a lot of general business talk already, so let's get back to Bang himself. He is listed as the founder of HYBE and was the CEO up until July of 2021, then stepped down to focus on his role as the chairman of the board of directors and to have more time he could dedicate towards music production. The new CEO is Park Ji-won, but Bang is undoubtedly still the most prominent figure of the company. On the official website for HYBE, he's the first face the user sees when clicking on a link called Who We Are. The site then gives a nice overview of his achievements. Founded Big Hit Entertainment in 2005, named as one of 2019 Billboard Music's New Power Generation 25 Top Innovators, named 3 years Billboard International Power Player, named 2 years Variety International Music Leader, selected as a member of the Recording Academy in 2019, named on the 2020 Billboard Power List, named 2020 and 2021 Billboard Indie Power Player, named on the 2020 Variety 500. More achievements that the list on HYBE's website didn't mention are that he was featured on the April 2022 issue of Time magazine alongside BTS, as HYBE was listed as one of the top 100 most influential companies. And as the first person in the entertainment industry, he received an honorary doctorate in business from Seoul National University. Even more than those titles and honors, his bank account is a good indicator of his success. In 2021, his net worth was an estimated $3.2 billion, according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, which made him one of the 50 richest people in South Korea according to Forbes Asia. In 2022, Bang was even ranked number 12 on the list with a net worth of $3.3 billion, but this year he has fallen down to rank 16 with a net worth of only $1.9 billion. This drastic decline of his net worth is due to the falling stock market and weakening of the Korean won. According to Forbes, most billionaires of the 2023 Forbes list of Korea's richest have been affected by this. Bang's fortune is made up of his shares of HYBE. The company made its stock market debut in 2020, then still under the name Big Hit Entertainment. I wasn't able to figure out how much percent of the company he definitely owns, but either way, it's way more than the founders of JYP or YG, for example, own of their companies. Also for perspective, each BTS member holds shares of HYBE as well, a rarity in the industry, that are worth around 11 to 13 billion won, or around 8 to 10 million US, which is a shit ton of money, but nothing compared to 3 billion US. Despite his immense wealth and influence, the public knows almost nothing about Bang's personal life. It is not known if he has a partner, for example. There was a rumor a few years ago that he dated someone born in 1997, which is the year Jungkook was born in, but that was never confirmed nor denied. The rumors just started to die down. He's a billionaire who said about himself he cries easily, who still enjoys reading comics and gets inspiration from literature. In BTS's iconic Spring Day music video, it was his call to include the motel called Omelis after Ursula K. Le Guin's short story, The Ones Who Walk Away from Omelis. He's a man who cares about his craft, who said he writes better songs when he's single, who gave up power, on paper at least, in order to focus more on songwriting. With his round signature glasses, an unusual physique in the Korean entertainment industry, and no kind of fashion sense, he doesn't look like a power player or one of the most influential people in the K-pop world. Whenever I want to get clues about what a public figure is like, I go to Instagram. We can learn a lot about a person by the way they are presenting themselves on a platform that is entirely about self-orchestration. Bang's account, called @HitmanB72, became verified in January of 2022, a month after BTS opened their individual accounts, which I don't think is a coincidence. As I'm recording this episode, he has 1.8 million followers. He primarily shares semi-professional and not very aesthetically pleasing photos of the artists under HYBE and of people he met for work, who he often has warm words for in the captions. In one caption he called JYP, who we know is his old friend and business partner, his, quote, teacher, brother and best friend, unquote, under a photo where both of them are laughing as JYP is laying his arm around Bang. In contrast to his brother, who is known for wanting a stage for himself, which more often than not results in cringy appearances, Bang has never tried to take the spotlight. He doesn't sing or dance himself. He always appears very quiet and collected. He speaks calmly in interviews, but not in a very charismatic way. Most times, an air of modesty surrounds him. And I don't think that he likes to be the center of attention. The profile picture of his Instagram account doesn't show himself, but the HYBE building in Seoul. There are no insights into his personal life or posts that revolve purely around him. Usually he only posts about people he met and works with, and he often uses the hashtag honored to express his gratitude to these people and artists. He never appears like the boss that he is, in the literal sense of the word. This down-to-earth or approachable attitude seems to be translating into how he runs his business and treats the idols he works with. In a recent interview for CNN, he walked around the HYBE building with the interviewer. They came across a room he called Roman Forum because it has somewhat circular stairs where employees of the company can debate and talk, just like the Romans used to do. The interviewer then asked, "Are you Caesar?" To which Bang answered, genuinely startled, no way, I'm a big fan of democracy, I'm not like Caesar at all." From what we know about his relationship with BTS, that seems to be true. To them, he became more of an older brother or father figure, someone who cooks meals with them at home, gives them artistic freedom, who gets made fun of, who tells them on the phone how proud he is of them. Now, as the chairman and record producer in HYBE, he was asked about the working relationship he has with other idols. He said other idols under HYBE may see him as their producer, but nothing more. He's not a manager or someone who works closely with the artists. He said he's sure most of them don't even care if they meet him or may not even recognize him as the chairman, which I highly doubt, to be honest. Throughout the years, Bang has given multiple interviews in which he talks about his philosophy when it comes to creating music and working with artists. And I think his approach to music has shaped first Big Hit and now even HYBE groups under other sub-labels. In a Time interview, he said, quote, "In our company, we invest a lot of time educating trainees about life as an artist, including social media. They speak out when they want to, and I don't say what they should or shouldn't do," unquote. He often speaks about the responsibility the trainees already have, and that, quote, "we cannot teach them how to love music," unquote. He also said, "I don't want to work with someone whose goal is to become an entertainer and is simply using music to achieve that end. So it's a matter of priority. It's a completely different story if you like music and do it and become a celebrity through that." And he said, "But the opposite, I like music, but being a celebrity is just means to do so, is something I don't like as well. If that's the case, you can just create music below the stage. I think that you have to love the stage as well as the music," unquote. Bang's respect and love for music are certainly obvious. And HYBE's slogan, "We believe in music," just as Big Hit's predecessor, "Music and Artists for Healing," sound nice, and I'm actually willing to believe that's something Bang believes in too. Even though I think it should be added, "We believe in music and in dominating the market for the highest financial gain." Because there's one chapter we haven't talked about yet. HYBE's quest to dominate other markets than the Korean industry, especially the American market. Bang not only became a more prominent person as HYBE was founded, but is also heavily involved in relation to American business partners and HYBE's spree to buy other companies and agencies. Most notably, in the International Relations Department, HYBE acquired Ithaca Holdings, Scooter Braun's company, with all its properties for $1 billion. Scooter Braun manages some of the biggest musical acts in the US, such as Ariana Grande, Justin Bieber, Demi Lovato, J Balvin, The Kid Laroi, and up until 2018, Kanye West. And he is now the sole CEO of HYBE's division HYBE America, and is closely working together with Bang. Scooter Braun, with all his controversies, will surely get a podcast episode for himself one day. On Instagram, Bang has posted repeatedly about Braun, and also once about Scott Borschetta, another powerful man with a lack of integrity who is despised by a certain fandom, and called him bro and my soul brother. In interviews, they have talked repeatedly about each other and their friendship. Once, when asked about his working relationship with Scooter Braun, Bang answered, quote, "We bring a lot of personal intimacy, trust, and empathy to work. There are of course disagreements sometimes, but our shared fundamental beliefs allow us to move toward our common goals. The best thing about Scooter and I working together is that we don't need a lot of words to describe our mutual trust. Even though he and I have built our careers on different continents, our visions for the future, our attitudes towards artists, and our philosophies on life are so similar that sometimes we get things done through trust, even beyond language barriers." Unquote. His answer almost sounds romantic, like a perfect synergy between two people from different countries, cultures, and music markets that come together and make something great. Soul brothers. I highly doubt, or better hope, that their attitudes towards artists are not the same when Braun is known for various mistreatment scandals and overall douche behavior. But I guess success comes before morals. We'll have to wait and see what kind of projects Bang and Braun are able to come up with and how successful their collaboration will be. HYBE not only acquired Ithaca Holdings, they also bought Quality Control, an American hip-hop label, and Bang is apparently also searching for a partner in the Latin music industry. Quote, "What we are trying to do is utilize HYBE's operation systems as well as technology and acquire the top labels in each genre. We are looking for a synergistic effect. By doing so, we seek to improve and increase our presence in the US market. In pop and Latin music, demand has been already proven for boy bands and girl groups. We're trying to apply the experience we gained in the K-pop industry and follow the local basic rules of those markets." Unquote. Bang and HYBE, just like many other K-pop companies, are looking for new sustainable ways that guarantee their impact on the global music scene. A 2023 Billboard interview said, quote, "Korea's music exports to Southeast Asia, one of K-pop's most crucial markets, dropped 30% in 2022. And in Indonesia, the world's fourth most populous country, K-pop's share on Spotify's charts fell 28%. Why is K-pop's growth slowing?" To which Bang answered, quote, "The fact that BTS is currently not active has an impact. When you look at the surveys regarding awareness, when you compare K-pop's penetration and BTS's penetration in the global market, BTS tends to have more penetration than K-pop itself. I'm sorry, I'm 5 years old." He then explained in a long-winded way that the company is not so sure why K-pop's growth is declining in the Southeast Asian market and that they're doing active research into it. Time will tell if Bang's and HYBE's efforts to dominate other genres and music markets will be fruitful. Even though Bang acknowledges BTS's incomparable impact, he seems determined to find that success again. He stated he's not able to recreate an artist like BTS, but their achievements of topping the Billboard charts, for example, are repeatable. He said, quote, "The experience of managing BTS and operating different labels gave us access to powerful networks, infrastructures, and experiences. With these, HYBE can repeat its remarkable results with the help of talented artists." Unquote. It's very interesting that he says HYBE is able to do it with the help of artists and not the other way around. For Bang, different new technologies play a huge part as well in the game of staying on top, as he repeatedly mentioned in interviews. One main guideline or slogan found on HYBE's website is, quote, "We bring change to life by creating resonance across the world and innovation throughout industries." Unquote. At the Seoul National University graduation ceremony in 2019, Bang gave a speech in which he said, quote, "There was no critical moment at which I decided to do music. I kept floating on and found myself doing it. I'm not an ambitious man painting big pictures and grand dreams." Unquote. His actions tell a different story. He seems to be an extremely determined person, a smart businessman who understood that his business needs to be ever evolving in order to stay on top of the game. He is hungry for success, but also seems to have principles when it comes to music and art that he stands by, at least for the most part. An ideological realist who communicates his beliefs strongly, a CEO in the K-pop industry who cherishes creative freedom, both a businessman and a music producer, both approachable and very partial to respectful boundaries, a man of extremes and also just a pretty private music lover. Thank you so much for listening all the way to the end. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, or follow the podcast on Spotify. And most importantly, let me know what you think of Hitman Bang, Bang PD, or Bang Si-hyuk, or whatever you call him. I feel like ARMYs generally really like him and adore his relationship with BTS that is so much better than most other relationships between CEO and idols. Leave a comment with your impression of this man and let's discuss his impact on the global music scene. And have a wonderful rest of your day.